Hello everyone, and welcome back to Radio Antenna. I'm your host, Bluto Walken. First, I thank all my antenna heads for subscribing to my YouTube, Patreon, and for sending me fan mail. Your support both brightens my day and funds this weird, wacky research that we do here on Radio Antenna. For new viewers today, welcome. Today, we will discuss the inspiration behind this entire channel, the giant mantis cryptid of Milwaukie, Oregon. So, if you watch the news, or look out the window depending on where you are, you may have seen reports of the large insect spotted amongst the raging forest fires of the West Coast. Reports have been similar in description, with residents of Milwaukie reporting a huge mantis figure looking back at them, waving, and even helping first responders. Before I dive into the background of the mantis, I want to point two things out. First, the mantis is reported to be 9 to 11 feet tall. And second, the fact that the mantis is completely unbothered and unscathed from the raging fires surrounding it. For me, the size is a sure sign that the mantis is an ancient insect. As you know, oxygen levels were much higher in prehistoric times. As you also know, insect body size is proportional to available oxygen. So, all signs point to the mantis being a remnant of the far past. If this theory is true and the mantis really is an ancient insect, most likely it would have hidden in the deep volcanic core towards the middle of the earth. And this makes sense with the Oregon fires. Oregon is basically a volcano and it seems to be thriving. So yeah, the news of a gargantuan flame-resistant mantis shook the nation.
It is huge. I mean, you see praying mantises, but I don't know if I've ever seen one this big.
But that's only because people seem unaware of the folklore and story history behind the creature. Arguably, the first report of the mantis comes from Native American cultures. Insects in these cultures are associated with both negative things, like crop destruction and bad luck, and positive things, values like innocence and humility. Before the colonization of the Oregon Trail, the land of Milwaukie was inhabited by the native Chinook and Tillamook people. Both these tribes shared plenty of tales about the land that they lived on. What is relevant to the story of our mantis is the story of Ash-ai-Yahal the Transformer, an abstract earth-walking god that transforms land to be habitable for humans. In one story, the transforming figure uses melting ice and fire to convince the east winds to stop blowing. This allows for the change of seasons and leads to a balanced ecosystem for both of these native peoples. I'll get back to this point in just a bit, but first I want to dive into the history of the mantis involving the city of Milwaukie as we know it today. American and European settlers began claiming Milwaukie lands in the early to mid-1800s and began development onto what would eventually become a metropolis of Oregon. Urban legend says John Whitcomb, developer of Milwaukee's lumber district, took inspiration to create sawmills after witnessing the mantis cut through brush with its saw-like blades. One concrete report of the mantis comes from a busboy working at the Rock Island Clubhouse, who claimed he would leave mussels and clams by the edge of the wood to attract his large insect friend. This large insect friend would return with various wagon wheels, arrowheads, and other artifacts from the Oregon Trail that to this day are preserved in the Milwaukie Museum. Reports of the mantis became less and less frequent, until recently when a forest fire started by a gender reveal party brought the mantis back to the forefront of public consciousness. In September of 2020, Mayor Mark Gamba made the statement that the idea of a humongous green mantis seems absurd until you realize how neighborly the creature is. We have had firefighters say it's stomping out embers and trying to help them. Any living being that is trying to stop ecological destruction and is concerned with the well-being of others is certainly welcome in Milwaukie. Since this statement, Milwaukee's businesses and municipalities have chosen the mantis as a symbol of sustainability and communal living. Citywide compost systems feature the orchid mantis as a mascot to signal growth and beauty. Milwaukee's local minor league team, the Playing Mantids, brands themselves as the green team of minor league baseball and practice waste-free operations in their stadium. Clackamas Craft Brewing Company offers a mantis-themed stout to contribute profits to extinguish fires. The Milwaukee-based Bob's Red Mill introduced new sustainable oatmeal packaging with a mantis on its advertisements. The mantis is used to promote city-sponsored holiday events like the Halloween Monster Market and the Earth Day Jamboree. Signs within the woods feature mantis to help guide folks and prevent them from getting lost. Finally, a commissioned stained glass piece by local Oregon stained glass artist David Schlinker has been placed in the Milwaukie City Hall. This piece immortalizes the mantis and represents both the negative and positive effects humans can have on their ecosystem. So, do the mantis sightings truly correlate to the devastating effects of climate change? This would align perfectly with the native stories of the Transformer, a being that seeks to balance the ecosystem for the good of mankind, all while being a good neighbor. If this is the case, then the city of Milwaukie is doing good by the mantis to adapt themselves to the realities of a changing climate. They've implemented new green solutions and have created a model for an environmentally aware community. They've done all of this while paying high wages. So, if you're looking for an incredibly interesting place to visit or a great environment to raise a family, consider Milwaukie, Oregon. With a tremendous focus on both history and new innovation, it really is a prosperous place to be. Who knows what mysteries you may solve there? Who knows what incredible things you may see? One thing is for sure, that if you are in Milwaukie, you are sure to live a wild life.